Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter number 10, Light, Reflection and Refraction. Now, let us understand the new phenomena of light, that is the refraction of light. While the light seems to travel in a straight path in a transparent medium, but while its effect is different from the different media of intermediate object. So here, light does not travel in same in all the direction with all media. So here, we can see that, we can observe that it appears when traveling from one medium to another medium, it is ambiguously passed through it. The direction of propagation of light from one medium in the second medium, it will different. So direction while different, while the light ray is traveling from one medium to another medium, its speed may also different. It is known as refraction of light. So here, as you can see in the diagram, that EO defines the incident ray, that is from the medium 1, air. It is incident onto the surface AB, which is the interface between air and glass. Now, that particular ray of light will propagate from the transparent medium glass, but here the propagation medium is different. So here the direction will change and it will take the path OO dash. Here, as you can see that not the straight path EOO dash will be there. OO dash is slightly moving towards the normal line of incident from point A, because glass is optically dense medium than air. So here, while the light signal is traveling from a rarer medium to denser medium, its speed of that refracted ray will reduce and its direction will move towards the normal. So incident angle is I1 at point O and refracted angle is denoted as R1 at point O, which is propagated further in glass medium. Now this particular refracted ray is propagating through the glass OO dash with the straight line. Now onto the CD line, again another interface, different mediums are there, glass to air. So here again refraction takes place, and here that reflected ray will move from glass to air. So here the incident ray is passing through the air, and again after passing through the glass medium, that reflected ray will again moving in the same air medium, so which is known as emergent ray. And here, as you can see that glass is more denser than air. So in air, that is a rarer medium in which the speed of the light is more than glass. So here the direction of refracted ray, the emergent ray will change and it is moving away from the normal of that O dash point. So for that emergent ray, incident angle is I2 at point O dash, and emergent angle, that refraction angle, that is R2 at point O dash. And as you can see that EO and O dash H are parallel lines but divergent. The shifting is there because in between the glass medium, the denser medium is there, where the velocity, the speed of the light is different. And here the dotted line, straight line is denoted as if in between glass medium won't be there, that light signal will propagate further via straight line. But it is not true as the glass medium is available. So here two important laws for refraction is there. The incident ray, refracted ray, and normal of interface of two transparent mediums at that point of incidence. These all are lie in the same plane. And second, the sine angle of incidence I and sine angle of refraction R, which is constant for the light for a particular given color, so for a given wavelength or frequency. This law of refraction is known as Snell's law. So if we are taking the ratio of sine I divided by sine R, which is always constant, which is known as refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. So let us understand what is refractive index. Here, refractive index, that is an important quantity to understand the relative speed of propagation of light in different mediums. So here, while the light will propagate with different mediums, we can understand it's a ratio. While the light is traveling in a vacuum having a highest speed, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And the speed of light slightly less in air compared to vacuum, which is almost the same. But that speed of light will reduces if it will pass through another transparent medium like glass or water. So here, refractive index for a given pair of media depends on the speed of light in a first medium. So here let us consider that the ray will traveling through the air from medium 1 towards the medium 2 in glass. So speed of light in air in medium 1 consider as a V1, and speed of light in medium 2 in glass let us consider as a V2. So refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1, which is denoted as a ratio of speed of light in medium 1 and speed of light in medium 2, which is denoted as N21. So N21 equal to V1 by V2. Likewise, N12, that is the refractive index of medium 1 with respect to 2, that is a V2 by V1. So if medium 1 is air or vacuum, so here we can measure the speed of light, refracted speed of light in medium 2. So this refractive index is known as absolute refractive index while we are comparing with vacuum or air, and which is denoted as N2. So here speed of light is C in vacuum and V is the speed of light in medium. So refractive index, which can be defined as N2 equal to C by V, that is absolute refractive index. Here the table is given for the refractive index, absolute refractive index, which is comparing with the vacuum or air. And here we can say that optically denser medium cannot having a greater mass density. Optically dense and mass dense, this both are different structure. It is optical density, it means based on the speed of light in that particular medium. It gives the ability of a medium to refract a refraction of light in optical dense medium. While we are comparing to different mediums, if larger refractive index is there, it gives optically dense medium, and lower refractive index is there, it gives optically rarer medium. So speed of light is higher in rarer medium and speed of light is lesser in denser medium. So ray of light traveling from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and when ray of light traveling for denser to rarer medium, its speed is increases and bends away from the normal, as we have already seen in the refraction diagram. Now, refraction by a spherical lenses. As you can see in the diagram, now we are taking two transparent spherical surfaces and combine it, it will give you the lens structure. So diagram A will give you the convex lens which converge the light, and diagram B, it's called the concave lens that give you the divergence of light. So convex lens is known as a diverging lens, and concave lens convex lens, it is known as a converging lens, and concave lens, which is known as diverging lens. Here, as you can see that lens can be convex or concave, having two spherical surfaces. Each part of spherical surface is formed by the sphere. The center of these spheres are known as the centers of curvature. This center of curvature of lens which is denoted as a C. So here as you can see that C1 and C2, 2 points are denoted. For that different spherical surfaces. This imaginary straight line will pass through the centers of curvature, which is known as principal axis, which is passed through the center of lens origin O. So this center point of lens, that is optical center, which is denoted as O, the origin point. The ray of light will pass through this optical center of the lens, will pass through without any deviation. So it will retrace from the same path, it will propagate during the same path. And lenses whose aperture is less than its radius of curvature, which is having a small aperture. Now, consider this ray of light if passing parallel to the principal axis, as you can see in the diagram A for the convex lens, then all the lights, ray of lights are parallel to the principal axis, then refracted rays will falling onto the convex lens on the common point. They will merge, they will meet at one point on the principal axis. This point on the principal axis is known as a focal point, which is denoted as F2 in diagram A. And here, if we focus onto the diagram B for the concave lens, then this parallel lines, parallel to the principal axis lines, when falling onto the lens, so after refraction from the lens, they will diverge from the point of principal axis. And that point on the principal axis, this is again known as a focus point of principal axis of concave lens, which is denoted as F1. So if we pass a parallel rays from opposite surfaces of the lens, then another focus point will define on opposite direction, which is denoted as F for the principal focus point. So here, two principal foci are there, two focal points are there, denoted as F1 and F2. And distance of focus, principal focus from the optical center, which is known as focal length, denoted as a small letter F. So here, the distance between the position of the lens and the position of image will form, it will give you the focus length of the lens. So here, as you can see that, if we focus onto the convex mirror, a convex lens, then if object is available at infinite, image will form at second focus point F2, as you can see in the diagram. It will, with the point size, means highly diminished. It will generate at other side, means real and inverted. If object is available beyond twice F2, then image will form between f2 and twice f2, again with the smaller size, that is diminished, and image will be real and inverted. If object is available at twice f1, as you can see in the diagram, then image will form at twice f2. So same size of the image as object, which will be real and inverted. If the object is available between f1 and twice f2, then the image will be formed beyond twice f2, having a larger size and large size, and other side means real and inverted. If the object is available at f1, then image will formed at infinity, that highly enlarged size of image will be there, which is real and inverted. If the object is available between focus point and optical center O, then onto the same side of the lens as the object will be there, it will be formed the image, which is very enlarged. So at the same side, if the image will be there, it will be virtual and erect. This thing for the convex lens. Now if we define for the concave lens, then if the object is available at infinite, then image will be generated at f1, which is a point size, highly diminished. Same side the image will be formed, it means virtual and erect. And if the object is available between infinite and point O, optical center of the lens, then image will be generated between f1 and O. So here the image will be smaller size, it means diminished, and virtual and erect. So here concave lens will always give you virtual and erect image with the diminished image size, smaller size, irrespective of the position of the object.